I'm pretty excited. It's all done, and I'm really excited to see what it's like. Hey, hon. I'm pretty excited. Oh, I like your welcome mat. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth with Live Simple. Oops. I'm a champion at blooper reels. Oh my
Here we go
goodness,
again.
I'm like the grand champion. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Barry.
Live Simple.
Live free.
Yep. Now Barry, who has the channel Empty Hammock, which we highly recommend to everybody, it's called Empty Hammock, is here with us in this incredibly beautiful house that he has worked very hard on for a very long time. And this will be our final walkthrough to share on our channel. And I highly recommend going to Empty Hammock to watch the videos he's put out about this. And he did a really wonderful live video showing the final walkthrough. It's a lot of fun. Okay, well, we are right by the front door.
Well,
And go ahead, yeah.
Let me just say, he's always called this the Hoarder house. We've called it the Hoarder house. Because when he bought it, it was owned by a hoarder and it was like this full of junk in every single room in the house. I'll show you some video of what it used to be like interspersed in here. So,
Well,
but it's now finished
yes,
and ready to go.
It's been a long process. I'm not saying this because I'm his mom, but this man here is the hardest working person I've actually ever known from the time he was a kid. And he worked his head off and earned enough money to surprise his dad with a motorcycle when Barry was 14 years old and got his dad a motorcycle for Christmas.
For Christmas, yeah. A real one.
Yes.
Not a moped, a real one.
Yeah. So this, I don't know if people can really understand, unless you've just watched every single moment of it, the amount of careful work that he has put into this place to try to make it as absolutely nice and as authentic as possible. This is a labor of love to the extreme. So, all right.
Ready to tour?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we're here in the entrance, and it is beautiful. If you want to let us know a little bit about this, Barry, and the process that's been involved, what was this? And, you know, there's so many old details preserved in this room.
Right. You mean the whole house or just the entryway?
The entryway right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
So when I got it, there was a bathroom that had been put in right here. It was cut into all the trim work all the way around. Really weird place for a bathroom. That was removed. I busted out the wall behind it, opened it up into the rest of the house. It was funny because when I bought the place, I didn't know that it was a bathroom because there was a wall of stuff here. I couldn't get the door open. So I actually shoved a camera in there and looked around and then pulled it back out and looked at it later. I was like, oh, that's a bathroom. I don't know how well the light is going to work in here. I'm not sure how well the camera picks it up, but I do have a flashlight, so it's a little bit of a mess, to say the least. And there's several other rooms like this one to the side here that I've never even been in. I'm not really even sure what's in there. Hey, I'm gonna push the camera in. You guys will get to see it before I will. How about that? If I can get the door open. Hopefully nothing will jump out at me. slide you in there. All right, look around. What do you see? I can't see anything. It's a bathroom. Yep. All right. Hopefully there's no dead bodies or anything.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
So we were really trying to just reuse as much of the history of the whole house as we could, which I like keeping history. I like the feeling of the age and the history of how it used to be. So all of the trim pieces throughout the entire house I tried to save as much as possible and reuse. A lot of these pieces, like this particular one, is actually 3 different rosettes, and because I had to just get bits and pieces, so I cut them up, put them back together. So I got asked a lot why I wasn't just doing new trim throughout the house. Trim like this is incredibly expensive, and I didn't want to have to repurchase old trim. And I like the history of it, so it's perfectly good. It's got some character. Put it back in. No reason why not.
How old is the house, Barry?
So the front 4 rooms, 1890s, we're guessing. And then a big addition back to the back wall of the kitchen, which you'll see 30s, 20s or 30s. And then the very back part of the house is probably around the 70s, just judging by the architecture.
Okay. All right, this beautiful staircase here. I know I'd like to actually head upstairs next, so anything you want to share about that?
Well, I mean, it's all original as far as we know.
Wow.
So I think it's interesting that a lot of the balusters are this style, and then it changes. Then you get back to the old one. So I can imagine back at some point, some little kid was being rough and bashed out a few of them, and they had to replace them, or who knows? I mean, it's a 100-plus-year-old house. So I was thinking about trying to match them back up, and I was like, no, that's character. It's an interesting little tidbit of history that we don't know anything about. So I left it in there. I had to refabricate all this trim. I actually just made it to try to match the older stuff on the house all the way around the whole top. I made all the stuff around the top part. The crown molding I did not make, but all of the supporting pieces, the little pieces in the corners, all of this is all fabricated. And again, I mean, you can buy it, but I have a table saw and router and the know-how, so I just made everything.
While you're talking about that, what about that beautiful piece around the front door, Barry?
Yes, that was a bunch of scraps that I had. This house originally had a porch, which wasn't held on correctly. It was not original. It was just really poorly put together, poorly put on. So that went away. So honestly, I was really kind of debating at first on whether or not to take this roof off, but man, I'm glad I did. Let me show you. All of the main rafters were only attached to the siding. None of these beams were attached to the actual structure of the house. They were literally just held on to the siding, the wood siding on the house. That's it. And the supports weren't attached at all. It was just gravity holding those on. I don't see how this even stayed on. Trying to figure out what to do around the front door. Started looking up a bunch of historical houses and how they looked, and just sort of made something up. So I fabricated that whole surround just out of scrap wood that I had. Put it in place and put a few coats of paint on it to protect it. But I think it turned out good for just being a bunch of junk, literally scrap that I was going to throw away, the whole thing. Except for one piece of PVC trim that I put on the top to protect it forever, because I didn't want water sitting on the top. I did purchase that, so the whole thing was some scrap wood, a $30 piece of PVC trim, and some screws.
Well, and a lot of skill. And it's well made, so that is going to be a beautiful trim around there.
The whole thing took me maybe one afternoon to put together.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, and I love your ceiling tiles here.
Yeah, we tried to go with something that was, this is all new. We put this in. It was just a flat ceiling, but we wanted something that was correct to the age of the house, something that would match it, wasn't be out of place. So, hoping that this sort of grand entryway is inviting. So.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, tell you what, can we run upstairs?
Yep.
Beautiful carpet. As we go through the house, I'm impressed with the beautiful but really neutral color choices.
Yeah, that was Molly's fault. I had nothing to do with the colors. I recused myself of that process. I would have just painted everything white and left it. But anyway, so the walls, I think it's called alabaster. And then there's, I don't know, some weird paint names, whatever it is. So anyway, the closets we had to rebuild. That actually helped with that, which I appreciated. Put in the new doors. It's a little bit atypical how I did those doors, but nothing's typical with this house, so get over it. And then we put in HVAC up here, so I had to build a little chase. So there's actual full-on vented HVAC. There was none up here before. In fact,
HVAC, that means heating and air conditioning.
yeah, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. HVAC. So there was no heat up here when we got the house. There was nothing. I don't know how they kept everything from freezing. But anyway, so now it has heating and air conditioning. And the ceiling in here, Molly spent hours scraping and patching and painting because it was, I don't know how many layers, 4, 5, 6 layers of wallpaper that they put on the ceiling.
Wallpaper,
Wallpaper.
on the ceiling.
Proper wallpaper, yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow. Well, I want to really look at the views out the windows, but we can do that as we go out into the other part of this upstairs area. So, oh my goodness. No, this is a very pleasant room. I know you had hoped to maybe get at least a half bath up here. What happened with that? That just...
There wasn't room because I would have had to either take a bunch of room out of one of the bedrooms, only one of the bedrooms,
Right.
or take a bunch of room out of the walkway. So it's okay. There's you just go downstairs and straight down the hall. There's one right there.
Yeah.
And these would probably be kids' rooms anyway.
Yeah, they're 13'2" square. So we just kept them exactly the way they were as far as the size. We debated on the carpet, whether to do carpet, whether to finish the floors, but something I talk about a lot is ROI, return on investment, because in this neighborhood, I can't get more money for the house than the neighborhood will allow. So there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to do that I would have if we had lived here, but I've always got to watch the ROI to see, is it worth it? Do I do this? Is it worth spending the money on, or just let it go?
Well, and you know, there's 2 bedrooms downstairs.
Right.
And so, very likely, if someone's up here, it'd be someone that's not going to mind trotting down the stairs. So, they're beautiful. It's beautiful up here. All right. This is a beautiful window to show it now. It's a snowy day, but this view outside the front of the house, if it wasn't so cloudy, it goes on and on. It is absolutely beautiful. If I bought this house, I put a little desk right here so I could look right out that window. All right, we'll just take a quick peek in the other bedroom, which is basically the twin.
Yep.
One of the wonderful things about a big old house like this is the size of the windows. I just think that, and the deep windowsills.
Yeah, when I took out the old windows, there's code requirements now. The older windows were a lot lower. And with the windows being down here, you have to have a certain number of inches from the floor to the bottom of the glass, or you have to buy tempered windows, which are like 3 times the cost. So I did actually reduce the size of the windows slightly compared to how they were, which I got a lot of flack about, but this is safer, so much safer to keep the little kid from bashing out the
Yeah.
glass or falling out or whatever. So compromise a little bit of light, that much light for safety. I think it's okay.
Yeah. But these big windowsills everywhere are wonderful for plants, and I get all sorts of ideas. So
And they were in the older style, the windows in the middle, and you have sill on the outside and sill on the inside. So if you have sill on the outside, that's something else that you have to seal, and there's somewhere for snow and water to sit. So I pushed the windows to the outside face of the house, so there's nowhere for water to sit. It also gives you a nice good 6 or 7 inches of sill on the inside to pile stuff up on.
great. Okay, so here we have the upstairs. We'll see you again downstairs. We'll take just a second and show this beautiful big bedroom that's just to the left of the front door.
Looks just like the other ones.
Nice closet. He actually made these, and it matches the ceiling.
Well, I put the trim
kitchen.
around them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the tiles from the kitchen. We were trying to figure out what to put over that, where the flue used to be, and I didn't want some goofy looking tin thing on there.
Yeah, that was just a big hole right there
Yeah.
where the flue from the old wood stove went into the chimney.
So we went back and forth and actually talked to a bunch of different people's opinions, and then actually talked to a few realtors in the area to see if we needed to paint these or seal them or take them out completely, because they don't go all the way through the roof anymore. With the new roof, penetrations leak. That's just the way it is. Anything that goes through your roof leaks eventually. So we cut them off in the attic, and I didn't want to just completely remove them from the house. I like the way that they sort of add a little bit of, history or something to the room. So we left them.
Yeah. I know you put a seal on them, which is good.
Yeah.
You sealed
Yeah,
them.
we did a concrete sealer so that little bits of dust and stuff from it aren't going to flake off.
Once again, it adds the authenticity. All right. Okay, let's go into that beautiful living room.
Okay.
My woman heart just does a pitter-pat in this beautiful room. It is so old feeling in a wonderful way, and this floor is gorgeous, just gorgeous. You can talk about anything you want to in here, but man, it is just beautiful.
Yeah, it was just full junk, and then 2 or 3 layers of flooring, and there was a lot of staining. There are different chemicals I could have used to try to pull some of the stains out, but
This is the original wood floor.
so far as I know, I don't know of any. I don't think it has been replaced or has any sort of new surfacing put on. So, but yeah, it was many hours with a sander, going from, I think I started with 60 grit all the way up to 100 grit, and then hand palm sander, and then we did 220 hand sanding after the poly was on. Did a second coat. So we tried revive it as much as we could. I think it turned out pretty good.
Still got another chimney in here too.
With a beautiful little tile on there. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I don't look at this and think of it as having, anything at all that looks off. It is just stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, we had to use a darker stain than I wanted to, just because of the staining in the floor. But again, I don't think it's off from the rest of the house and the colors that Molly picked and whatever, so I think it worked out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful room. Somebody could have a ball fixing this up. Whew. Okay, we're going to walk into this beautiful big dining room. And from what Barry has said, I think this has been his favorite.
Say that again. You walked into the other room when I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so now we've come into the beautiful dining room. And I know Barry has mentioned this has been the best wooden floor reclamation.
Yeah, this was the one that we kept covered all the way through the whole building process. Until the very end, we uncovered it. I hadn't even looked at it. I was expecting there to be, some big blob in the middle, but it was clean. So it was definitely the best outcome out of the 3.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Beautiful chandelier. Yeah.
So there was a wall here that separated dining room and kitchen with just a single doorway. So I made that go away, and then yeah, redid the entire kitchen. Yeah, I got a few days of work ahead of me, that's for sure. I get my boy here to help and get it turned around in no time. All of it's new.
Oh, honey, it's beautiful. Once again, Molly's choice of colors are just, anybody could do whatever they wanted in here and it would look beautiful. I love the tiles that you picked.
Yeah, I think it turned out really good.
And once again, it fits the feeling of the house really beautifully. Absolutely love it. Handmade these beautiful shelves over here, which I would have all sorts of ideas for.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now this is one of the best things around.
Lazy Susan.
Yeah, Lazy Susan.
So we designed it without the appliance package for a reason. I put in the dishwasher, microwave, but the stove and fridge, everybody has different opinions on what they like
Yes.
in a stove and fridge. And I would have had to have made the price even higher. And again, ROI, I'm not gonna get that money back. It would have been a free stove and fridge. So we're gonna leave those as just, you know, BYO stove and fridge. So.
Well, from my experience, that's been the main way I've ever seen houses, where you put in your own stove and refrigerator. People often bring them from wherever they were living before.
Right.
So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and finish this part of the house right now. This is beautiful. I love the fact that he's been able to use the original door here. And you can, you know, explain a little bit there, Barry, what that
Yeah, well,
is.
this doorway I put in, it was just a solid wall, and this door was somewhere else in the house. But I think it's probably original, and then it's got the glass in it. So I wanted a nice bright laundry area and pantry because there's plenty of room to put shelving in.
So this is the laundry room.
Yeah, so washer dryer here, window for light, and this is the original ceiling on the, this used to be a porch all the way across this whole side of the house.
And oh, nothing better than having a washer and dryer in a room where you can shut the door.
Yeah.
That's really good. All right. Okay, we're coming into the primary.
Just call it a master bath, it's so silly. Changing our language. Yes, it's the master suite.
Yes.
Another hardwood.
Yep.
Another beautiful hardwood floor. This is plenty big enough that if somebody has king size bed, a king size suite,
Right.
they can easily fit in here.
Yep. So originally this was the doorway into the room. I turned this into the man closet.
The man closet?
Yes, it's the man. Yeah, he'll show you the lady closet.
Yeah. And then the little tiny, uselessly small closet was right here. So I just punched that through into the other room. And then built the walls in the kitchen area to divide off that area a little bit visually. So that when you're in the dining room or kitchen, it's not just looking directly into the bedroom. So.
Feels more set apart.
Yeah. Then the master bathroom and big closet.
So this is the ladies' closet.
Yep. Yep. Plenty of room for shoes. So again, we did not put in the shelving, all that. There's no built-ins. It's just basically a blank slate. Again, back to the same thing. It's, you know, we would not have gotten money back out of it.
Well, you know what? That way they could design it. The people can design it to be exactly how they would want a walk-in closet to be. But boy, there's beautiful space here for it.
Then the last room is the master bath. And we did a stand-up shower for a couple of reasons. Logically, you know, if it's a 4-bedroom house, it's probably going to be a working family. So working mom or dad, they're just gonna want to jump in the shower and take off to work. They do have the big soaker tub in the front bedroom.
Which we haven't shown
Yeah,
yet.
we'll show you that one.
Which I'll show you in a minute. So we went ahead with a 4-foot stand-up shower, which I prefer personally, because you don't have to step up over anything. This house is fairly ADA compliant anyway because of the one floor all the way around. We intentionally did that just to make it easier for whoever to be able to get in here. So, and I designed in all the shelves here to be removable, and then this plate comes off of the wall fully, the entire thing, so you can see all your controls from the back. Because as a builder, as a repair guy for 20 some years, I hate working in a little hole this big, crammed in. I want to be able to get in there, so I try to make that easy for whoever gets in here next.
Okay, and then beautiful sink. Yeah, this is really, really nice. Okay.
So we'll show you the other bathroom.
Yeah, we'll show you the kind of the main public-ish bathroom.
Okay, so from here in the dining room, you got the kitchen and the master suite back there.
And the laundry room.
And then from the dining room, you come through here. That's the side door, back door where we came in. Main door is right there. Then your main bathroom is right here. And that tub, that was an amazing project.
Yeah, it's 1923, August of 1923. And again, it may or may not be original to the house. It's in the right.
Oh, sorry. It's a fan.
It's in the right time era to be fairly original to the house, being 23. And I went back and forth again about what to do with it. Originally, I was just going to junk it, scrap it, but I was like, I couldn't do it. I could not bring myself to just destroy it, get rid of it. So I refinished it. Lots of hours of sanding and grinding. Got the whole thing completely cleaned up and cleaned. And then Molly and her mom did the finish work on it. So it's got the proper paint on the inside that's supposed to be on the tub. Finished up the outside. I made little pucks on the bottom to keep it from sinking into the luxury vinyl planking.
Yeah, this is very good quality flooring.
Yep.
Beautiful. I love your attachments there. It just fits the style, and it's just so cool looking.
And there again, I did not put in the shower surround on the top, just because that's something that an owner can put in if they want it, but not always. You have a shower and you have a tub, so.
They may not want it surround.
Yeah, if they have little tiny kids, you're going to be doing baths anyway, so.
So if you look here, he's got, beautiful matching at the sink there. The lighting is also beautiful with the way you designed this, Barry. Coming in the natural lighting.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
So here at the side door on the house, this door was on the outside face of the house.
Okay.
Originally it was all just a big porch. So I brought it in this far so that outside you have somewhere to stand in the rain. So that as you're trying to fumble and get your keys and stuff, you can stand there and then come in the house. Also, I needed to account for the extra step up because all of this floor originally was 8 inches lower than it is now. So I raised the entire floor. That way it's just the same level all the way through the whole house. And I needed to have an extra step. So I accounted for that stepping up into the house.
With giving a really wonderful place to get out of the rain to come in.
Right.
I mean, that's going to be a really useful entrance. Not only is it nice that you made everything level, because it's just less to trip over or whatever, but once again, ADA, if somebody needed to be in here in a wheelchair, they would function.
Well, I mean, the width of the doorways doesn't comply with a lot of it because it's the old framework, but for somebody who has any kind of slower mobility issues or elderly, it's going to be easier.
Yeah.
So the house is now finished. How long have you been working on it?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
In addition to my normal day-to-day job, it's just been extra.
Sure, that's something that he did on weekends and evenings and on a rainy day when he couldn't do his other work. So it's been a long haul.
It has. Yeah, nice little part-time job.
So it's going on the market this week.
Yep, we're gonna put it up this week to the fairest price we can come up with, about $249.9, which every market is different all over the entire world, even neighborhood to neighborhood. There's a town about 20 minutes from here that I'd add at least $125,000 to it if this house was in that neighborhood. But it just depends on where it is. So I'm not doing this to make $1 billion. I'm just trying to fix something that's broken. So.
Well, I tell you what, this has transformed this neighborhood.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest house in the neighborhood, which is one reason I can't get $1 million for it.
Right. I've said often with the way this was when you first started, if I was a neighbor, I'd be bringing you guys dinner over overnight.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! So, what was it the guy in Netherlands said? What it sold for? You had somebody.
Oh yeah, like 800,000 at least.
Wow.
I mean, even in some of the bigger cities in the U.S., it'd be $1 million plus.
Yeah. This was out on Long Island or in Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Location.
That's it.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for the tour.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for joining on with us. I know you've been very interested in what it's like when it's all done. It is a beautiful place. It's beautiful. And so I think whoever lives here is going to have a wonderful home.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And again, if you do want to see all the detail work, I did 30 plus videos. I don't know how many, a lot, over the past few years. So you can check them out if you want to.
Yeah, go to Empty Hammock, his channel. I'll put a link to it at the end.
Yeah.
And he documented the entire thing over the past couple of years, so you can see what it was like when he first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he makes really fun videos. He really does. So they're a lot of fun to watch. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining with us today. We love you guys. And live simple.
Live free.
And I don't have a slogan.
But he keeps that hammock empty. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Love you.
We're going to walk through and just show you what's going on with it. I'm going to try not to make you sick as much as possible. I'm going handheld with this, so just bear with me. And I'll drop the umbrella as soon as we can get into it.
I just want to show you this amazing house that my son just found. This thing was trashed beyond belief. And he's had it for a month now. He's already been working on it for a month. And I'll show you in the inside and you're not going to believe it. But when so many people would just run from something like this, like I said, this is an absolute gold mine if you have the ability to do the renovation. So let's take a look inside. He's almost got it completely cleaned out now. When he first bought it, every room was waist deep in trash. And you see this one, this is all clear, except for that big pile of clothing. And like I said, he's been working hard for a month in here, clearing it out. Elvis?